Independent music artist Nic D is earning $74,000 a month from streaming platforms without a record label or management team, and he's doing it through digital marketing.
So literally 1 million streams is give or take $4,000. I do about 3 million on Apple Music, 14 million streams on Spotify a month.
Wow.
So if you want to do math, you can do math. I own my music. It all comes to me.
No matter what online business model you're into, let's get into some of the takeaways from Nic D's journey and how it can reshape your approach to building your online business. Now, Nic D isn't a name in the traditional music industry, but he's a one-man powerhouse, earning an incredible $74,000 per month from Spotify and Apple Music alone. His financial success is all thanks to how he's driving traffic in the modern digital landscape. But what's even more impressive is that this figure doesn't even account for his earnings from other streaming platforms. Starting his journey without a label or management team, Nic D has leveraged social media and views his music not just as a form of art, but kind of as their own digital products. His approach just shows how creativity, when mixed with mindful digital strategies, can lead to unbelievable success in the online space. Now, I understand that this level of success might seem distant and unreachable for many, and that's why through this, we'll go over Nic D's journey in comparison with the hundreds of businesses that I've looked through on the Empire Flippers marketplace. The goal is to extract the tangible, the actionable insights that you, as an artist or entrepreneur, can directly apply to your ventures, whether you're in music or tech or an online business. So the first takeaway is about ad strategy, and specifically on hyper-targeting and disqualifying your audiences. When it comes to promoting music in the digital age, Nic D's approach is really a masterclass in precision and efficiency. When first getting started on driving traffic digitally to his music, Nic gave himself a budget of just $150 per song for Instagram story ads, and he used this limitation as more of an opportunity to focus on hyper-targeted ads that were most likely to convert to his goal. He didn't focus on reaching the masses, but on reaching the right people, and he carefully disqualified audiences who were unlikely to engage deeply with his music. For example, he didn't just target music lovers generally. Instead, he narrowed his focus to people who had shown a specific interest in Spotify. Why? Because liking Spotify doesn't just show a preference to music, but it also suggests active usage and the fact that this person likely has a Shopify account to be directed to begin with. Now, there are many advertising strategies. Sometimes people go broad in their advertising to discover what people are even searching for, and sometimes people will go hyper specific. But I think taking the added angle of disqualifying customers, preventing them from taking your ad money by deliberately trying to not show them the ad, I think this is an interesting approach, or at least perspective, when it comes to advertising, because it's an exercise that forces you to get very, very specific with who your best customer or audience member is, which can not only help in your advertising, but also in your organic content and your marketing efforts in general. In your business, I encourage you to at least go through this as a thought experiment, where if you had just $100, what individual would you want to see that ad? Now, point number 2 is on making short form marketing work for your business. In a world where attention is the currency, mastering the art of short form content right now is not just an option, but it seems like a necessity for businesses. And Nic D's strategy in particular, I think, gives us a key lesson in this topic. One thing he points out is that it's about showing, not telling.
Humanizing the person that's singing the song. I wrote the song for my wife. Now I'm a husband, which they can relate to. Right? Just making myself a human being.
It's about crafting an experience around your product that captivates and entertains as the primary focus, rather than directly selling to your audience. So he creates entertaining videos that don't even mention his music or ask people to click on a link even. He entertains first, and he creates curiosity and a desire for people to take that next step, which is to listen to the music that was in the video. And this actually sounds a lot like something currently happening in the e-commerce world called social commerce, which is a fusion of social media and e-commerce that thrives on being subtle and mostly not distracting from the audience's viewing experience. Unlike marketing of kind of the past decades, I would say, where people are taken to an external landing page, they're redirected from what they were originally viewing. Social commerce places products and the ability to purchase them directly on the content itself. Many platforms now are allowing you to buy products while continuing to engage in the content. I think Nic D's type of content reflects this similar trend just for a different type of product and done in a slightly different way. Now, the other takeaway was about how Nic will piece together his short form content to strategically maximize the engagement all the way to the very end of that piece.
So I caught him at the hook at the beginning. The first 3 seconds are critical to catch somebody. Then you got to keep them. I made the shot behind my head, which was a fresh dopamine hit. And then I'm singing and I'm talking in between the lines.
So he described it kind of like he's chaining dopamine hits with his content. And for better or worse, this seems to be where we are currently when it comes to short form content, or at least the reason why people will watch it over longer form pieces of content, because they're easy to watch, they don't rely on intense concentration, and they provide the benefit quickly. So if you're applying this to your own business, I'd first think about if your target audience is one that actually spends time watching short form content, and then crafting videos that don't just act as a sales page, but they rather act as a source of entertainment or education, and they work to guide people to the next step in an easy and engaging way. Now, the next point I want to bring up is about how his songs have to actually earn a music video and the underlying concept behind that.
I don't think you should invest in music videos unless the song earns one.
Nic stands firm on the belief that a song must first prove its worth through performance on short form content platforms before he commits to investing in a music video. Kind of similar to what we talked about with the Instagram ads, but now related to larger investments, and that you're being mindful of where and when to allocate much larger resources. And this principle can really be applied to almost any business across various industries. The idea is to start small, test for what works at low cost, and then scale up based on tangible demand. For instance, before launching a new product, you could release an MVP or a minimum viable version, or even before embarking on that expensive ad campaign, you can try a series of smaller targeted ads to see which messages resonate with your audience the most. So you can use those insights then to shape a larger campaign. Now, I get it, sometimes the only way to really know if people want a thing is by giving it a real shot and putting it out there into the world. But with the philosophy that your song must earn a music video, it really forces you to think about if there are opportunities to test assumptions before taking much bigger leaps if that bet doesn't work out. Now, if Nic D's story tells us one thing, it's that there are so many ways to build a highly profitable business online. But I would say that the more you understand the entire landscape, the better equipped you become at being able to do this for yourself and replicate this kind of success. And if you'd like to capture a glimpse of what that whole landscape looks like, a great way to do that is through our free newsletter, This Week in M&A, where we explore major developments in the digital business world each week. And if you want to follow the journey of the founder of a physical product brand, Smart Suites, then click on the video here. So that's all for now. See you next time.